Stanley Parable 2, back in the game. Back. We're back, baby.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to
That
go to
door
the
doesn't
meeting room.
close.
Bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better
Yes.
co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things.
We are certainly all of those things.
Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek.
Ooh.
Could his co-workers really all be gone?
Let's turn the computer off.
Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office.
Oh.
Nothing responded to the bucket's touch, but it did little to discourage Stanley's belief in the...
Yes,
whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
we've done it.
Fuck?
We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the
fuck?
land and lives of untold... To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed.
Not you are a bucket!
Bucket!
This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My God, Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor
I
the
killed the
dark
bucket, I don't
magic
believe you.
cast away
There's no
inside
stickers
of
on it. There's no stickers on it. Some are both red and blue. Compton? Anything else in here?
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
What if I do this?
Stepping in,
Oh! Oh! That's chipped it out. It's just open the doors. Oh! Oh, what have we done here? What have we done here? It's opened up all the doors. What the fuck? Oh, but not that one. Just the way back. There's the lion. Something's got to happen. It's got to. Oh! What is going on with that input? Wait. Oh! This door's open next to my office. What the fuck? Oh, you are now leaving. Escape pod bay. Floor 760? What? What floor? Wait, what was the other way? Was there anything either this way? That's the office. 427's just there because it's 4:30. I fell out of this window. What the fuck is going on here? This is a new area that we haven't seen before. What? What? That's what? That's my office still. How? How are we going up floors and it's still my office in the window? This game is a proper mindfuck. Look, it's crazy. It's actually crazy, bruh. It's crazy. I second I had to check that the numbers were actually going up and I wasn't just jibbing out. It wasn't fucking with me. Here we are. This is it, isn't it? 760. Escape pod launch bay. This hole's well too dark. What the fuck? Oh! Oh! The bucket! I love you, bucket. He's just saving the bucket. The bucket filling up. Save you, bucket. Save yourself, bucket. don't know why we couldn't have just gone with the bucket. What? We are back. He hasn't said anything. Oh. What is happening here?
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figglers. I haven't
Yes!
stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one.
Gotta
Wasn't
catch
it
'em
just the most
all!
intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life?
Yes,
Didn't it
no,
fill
the
you to the
bucket.
brim
Oh,
with
where's the
inner
bucket?
richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Oh,
I would love
no.
nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Here we go. Let's have a little remember, shall we? I remember. Yeah, back in my day. What a beautiful little hill. Beautiful birds singing and tweeting.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible.
Here we go,
Back
I'm just
then, we
going
had
towards
no
them.
idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right
Oh,
there on the
yeah.
screen, but how could we know for certain?
Yeah.
We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
What the
And here was the second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own just by poking around behind the boss's office. You did
Yes.
that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Where next?
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
Oh, I think it was this one.
No. Under the stairs was the 4th place
Oh!
you found a Figanley, not the 3rd. Well, I guess perhaps I shouldn't be surprised. Memories like these are so precious and so cherished that they all just sort of blend together, don't they? You know what? If under the stairs feels like the 3rd place you found a collectible, then who am I to go making judgments?
Why didn't it go back up to the office? Surely you should just, you know. Oh.
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
No, I don't remember being in this room. What the What?
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
How you found it? Oh, this is so like Windows XP. Yes. Pretty sick, mate. It's pretty sick editing. It's mini Stan number 5. Now, where in the episodes were this? I can't actually remember. You're going to have to go back and watch them all to find out. Haha, yes. And this, the narrator, edited by the narrator, the music narrator, producer narrator, right, best boy.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Because we're in the memory thing, if I fall off of here, will I die? Oh, I can't. It won't actually let me come off the edge. I'm actually... Oh! I'm physically trying to now, look.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the
Yeah,
final
here,
figurine, right here by the red and blue doors.
Yeah, so
This
12
memory
out
is the
of
most
6.
distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others.
Yeah.
Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them.
Yes!
They're all collected. It was a moment
Where's my
unlike any
bucket
other.
to share this moment?
Except for
This
the other
gone in the
moments picking up
pod.
figurines, which it was exactly like.
Oh, he told me to go for the red, didn't he? And I went for the blue. I don't think it would have mattered.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Oh.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there
I'd
some
like
way
to
we
see
can
them
stay
backwards.
here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that
Yes.
feels.
Let's go.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say,
Yes.
of all the
13 out of
figurines we looked at in
6.
our initial tour of the memory zone, this
Dun,
one
dun,
is
dun,
the
dun,
most
dun,
distinct
dun,
and
dun,
clear in
dun,
my
dun,
mind.
dun, dun,
Let's
dun.
keep going. I want
Bum,
more.
bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, whoa. Bum,
And
bum, bum,
here's
bum,
where I
bum,
made that
boom.
video. Don't you
Flying through
remember the
this, mate.
video
With
we
the
watched?
whoosh. You found it. Bam, 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 bam. Let's go.
Yes,
Yes.
I love that video.
Yes, sick vid. Whoa. Ah. This pink room that I don't remember.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley.
No,
Still no memory
no.
of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Some pink room. Pink stuff happens. Dun 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 dun
These
dun
really were a
dun dun
treat to
bum
hunt
bum
down.
ba
You
ba
know,
boom
if
boom
there had been
cha
any
cha
kind of
ba ba
reward for
boom
finding
wow.
all of these, it
Oh,
really would have
mate.
muted the intrinsic joy of collecting.
Oh, open the
I'm
door.
very glad we resisted the temptation.
Yes.
Next one.
Wait. I never actually went and got that one, but I do remember getting one from the bathroom. What? What?
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a
Doesn't make sense,
wonderful
because I
thing.
definitely
Why
remember
does
getting
anyone
one
ever
from the
choose to leave it?
bathroom.
Keep going.
Yeah.
This is it, the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines.
18 out of
Oh,
6.
I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Your mum. Where do you want me to go, bruv? To the exit? Yes. Where are we? Oh!
Look, it's the terrible new
Oh!
content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then. But time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now.
Give me some more
Look how much
jumps.
fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
Let's remember jumping. Give me some jumps. You're horrible, isn't it? Narrator, if that is your real name.
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A
Oh,
classic
how can
memory,
we?
this one.
There every time.
And before everything
Oh.
else, there was your office.
What about before
Is there
this?
anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's
Your
something I
mum.
feel I can remember. I can remember.
Oh no.
Yes, I'm remembering something now.
Oh.
I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions, he would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction.
What?
But I suppose it's grown
I'm
old.
a real boy.
I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used
Come on,
to be.
Stanley. Press that
Yes.
button.
I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself.
Please press
I
A
don't
on
need
your
Stanley
keyboard.
anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with.
Play
You know
with
what?
me.
Since we're in the memory zone,
How about one more good memory? Let's go back
Yes, the
just
tugging
once.
closet.
And give
Come
Stanley
on,
one
it's
more
got
run
to
of the
be.
office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Right, this time.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
When they see whether, like the bin, the bucket is back, baby.
Stanley's bucket, the only co-worker he would ever truly need. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find out. Coming to a staircase,
Perhaps it is.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Perhaps it is. I just don't get in that room. What's the point? Oh! Look, there's another one. It's free.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Going down, baby.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
Oh, bless this
Soothing
bucket.
him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Wait.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can
Wait,
we go
I
back
did.
up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing. Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Well, he said, the number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Well, perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
Oh, it's took me straight down this time. I'll go back up again.
No, said Stanley to the
No, no, no!
You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing. Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion.
Two, what an idiot.
He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears. And the whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence.
Oh.
Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator. Stanley and the bucket were so close, they'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator.
That elevator's going really
He
slow.
knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
Mustn't there be? Mustn't there be? Oh, he said nothing.
said Stanley. I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my
Look how
heart.
quick we're going.
He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work. For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life.
Stanley. Look at me, I've got, look, loads of posters. People want to see Stanley. All eyes on me, live on stage. An evening with world peace, baby. Yeah, that is literally today's world. What we got here? Stanley Parable. Stanley. Tonight. Yes. Q&A with world's first internet machine. What? Free.
This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over.
Bucket.
One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one.
What's going on? To the stage. Listen to the crowd. Stanley!
There was no one here.
Oh.
Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting, he was a failure, and in that moment Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference.
Wow.
There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
No, bucket, no. Well, I guess it's time to kick the bucket.